Welcome. Today I wanted to share with you just a quick list of 7 tips to stay vital and healthy as you grow older. Maybe you're already doing some of them. I'd love to hear what's working for you. Maybe there's some new ones. These are some things that you can do today. Maybe you can add some of these to your repertoire. My name is Danelle, and on this channel I like to talk about nutrition and health and ways to get older better. My first tip is to stay social. One of the best ways to stay social and also feel connected to your community, to feel like you're needed, to be part of the community's fabric, is to volunteer. There are such a variety of ways you can volunteer. You could join the board of your local library. You could volunteer to tutor kids who need extra help reading. You could join the fire department. Another way to stay social is join a club, join a book club. Maybe your recreation center has a volleyball group that gets together every week. You could join a dance class. Another way to be social is to attend community events. Even better, I know our local community theater has a big group of people that it needs to support the set building, setting up for the plays, just running out to get supplies, maybe securing props that they need. There are a lot of ways that you can help your community through volunteering, so you could probably just Google that. I bet there's a list of organizations that you could contact on your city's website. So get out there and volunteer. Volunteering not only keeps you out there and keeps you social, but it really gives you a sense of being needed, which can be really important as you age. My second tip is to move, whatever way you can find. Get out there and walk your dog every day. If you're interested in that, check out my video on how to walk your dog, and is a dog really a good way to be motivated to get more exercise? And walking your dog is kind of nice too, because there is a big bonus to getting out in nature. Another thing that I like to do is yoga. Yoga is excellent for both your mind and your body. And you could join a class that also would tie in with being more social. You'd be around people, you get to talk to them. Maybe you can go out for coffee after class. Maybe go to yoga class with friends. Yoga is really great in that it builds your strength, it builds your flexibility, and it also teaches your mind to slow down, to be mindful. We like to now use online yoga instruction. There's some really good ones. We really love Yoga with Adrienne. That's a huge channel. She has got yoga for every single condition and mindset and emotion. She has yoga for when you're angry. She has yoga for when you're happy. She has yoga for your hips. She has yoga for your shoulders. She has yoga for when you've had a bad day. She's got a great variety. And I'm sure there's a ton of other websites out there and yoga channels that have really great instruction. So if you can just get yourself a mat, you don't even have to have a mat. You could just do it on the carpet. You can do it on a hard floor if it doesn't bother you to kneel, be on your knees on a hard floor. But we've found yoga to be amazing. Another great way to exercise that is highly recommended by pretty much every exercise person out there is resistance training. And resistance training is something that I'm trying to build a more consistent habit of, but resistance training strengthens your bones, strengthens your muscles. 2 really big risks for people who are aging. We tend to lose our muscle mass, and we tend to lose our bone mass as we age. So resistance training builds both of those. So you don't have to go join a gym and spend a lot of money. You can get a couple of sets of weights from your local store and just do some simple exercises with those. You could do body weight exercises. There's kind of a fun website I like that called nerdfitness.com, and they have really great beginner instructions on how to do your first pull-up, how to do your first push-up. And so that you can learn form, you can learn safety from different websites, from YouTube experts. So just incorporating a little bit of resistance exercise, that can send a signal to your bones and your muscles to grow. And that helps with our balance as we age. If your balance starts to decline, you are at risk for falling. And if you combine the risk of falling with weakened bones, then you're going to be at risk for broken bones. And the statistics on the survival rate for an older person who has fallen and broken their hip is it's kind of dire. So you really want to keep your bones strong and you want to keep your muscles strong. Practice balance type exercises too, not just using a machine to do symmetrical exercises, doing like one side at a time. That's where yoga is really nice too, because you do more asymmetrical exercises, but with yoga you're just doing body weight. So try a wide variety of exercises to get all the different aspects in: the bone building, the muscle building, the balance, some agility. That's where dance can come in. Maybe take a dance class, maybe take like a dance aerobics class, something where you're moving and having to use your balance and agility. It's just not just strength, not just aerobics. And another thing that I would like to recommend is something I just made a video about, which is creatine. Creatine increases the ATP production by your mitochondria. And that helps your brain function, that helps your muscle function. It also has been shown to help with your skin. It can help with recovering from lack of sleep. So look into creatine. If you're interested in the video I made on creatine, I will put it right up here. And it's inexpensive. It doesn't really have side effects. The creatine monohydrate can sometimes cause a little bit of stomach upset, but look into it. Before you try any supplements though, probably talk to your doctor, especially if you have any special health conditions, if you're diabetic, if you have metabolic syndrome, or if you have digestive issues. So talk to your doctor, see what they think, look into the dosing. The dosing for creatine can be a little bit different. Usually how it's recommended to be taken is a saturation period where you take a larger dose of about 20 grams a day for about 5 to 10 days, something like that, and then about 5 grams a day following that. Tip number 4 is try new things. That is great for the aging brain. I think sometimes as we get older, we have things figured out. We do things kind of the same way. Like I have routines. I have a certain way that I get my dogs ready in the morning, and I load them in the car, and I wear the same things, and I take them for walks. We do choose a different trail every day, but they're the same, 6 trails that we do all the time. So if you're taking walks all the time, if walking is the way, like me, your main type of exercise, try something completely different. Maybe join a dance, maybe ballroom dancing or something like that. Another new thing that I'm trying is learning a new language. There's some great apps out there right now. I've tried Jump Speak. I'm also using Rosetta Stone. I'm trying to learn Spanish. And yeah, that has been really challenging for me. So that's an interesting new thing to do. If you are always doing crossword puzzles, something I always like to do every weekend, I do the big crossword puzzle. Maybe a new kind of mental challenge would be good. Maybe learning a new craft. Maybe learn how to do a painting. So trying something different can be really good. Tip number 5, eat whole foods. This is a big deal to me. I have always been interested in diet and trying to find the optimal way to eat. I have tried a very strict ketogenic diet. I have tried the carnivore diet, where eating only animal foods. And lately my big experiment has been eating a plant-based diet. I do have a little bit of dairy here and there, but I did a strict plant-based, what some people call vegan diet for, I've been doing that for like the last year. So really I'm focusing on protein and eating a lot of plants. So what everything comes down to when you're talking about eating a nutritious diet that supports your body and your brain is avoiding processed foods. Sure, something like tofu is processed. I think we all know what we mean by processed foods. It is the things you buy in packages that have the junk. It has the sugar, the high fructose corn syrup, the sugary sodas. Even the sugar-free sodas have chemicals and additives in them that aren't particularly healthy. So any of these fancy diet patterns, whether it's the Mediterranean diet or the DASH diet or the keto diet, they all have one thing in common, is that they cut out junky processed foods. Of course, on your birthday, having a big piece of that cake that was made from a box mix and some ice cream or something like that, you know, a few times a year having junk like that is not going to hurt you long term. If every day you're stopping at fast food joints and you're eating that gross refined flour in the bun with the preservatives and the extreme amounts of salt and the French fries with the rancid grease and the chemicals in the soda, we know that that's not healthy. So if you can start cutting back on that and gradually build good habits, instead you're going to be winning. You don't need to eat a really fancy diet. Just who was it? The Michael Pollan who wrote that book on nutrition. Eat plants, not too much. Eat whole foods, not too much. I can't remember the exact quote, but both of those quotes work. So try to clean up your diet a little bit at a time. I put a link down below to the book Atomic Habits. It's really helpful in learning how to build the best way to build good habits bit by bit by bit. And I do have a video also on building habits. Number 6, prioritize sleep. Now, I know as an older person, especially a person who is in menopause, that you can do all of the suggested things to get the best sleep possible, and you still don't get good sleep. It can be extremely frustrating. I have blue blocker glasses for when I watch TV at night. I read quietly before I go to sleep. I journal in the evening. I avoid eating big meals before I go to bed, etc. But my hormones will dictate what actually happens. My sleep is pretty good. I usually get about an hour and a half of deep sleep every night. But I work really, really hard to get best sleep. I have an exact time that I start getting ready, and I have a routine. I take the dogs out, I put them in their beds, and they get their treats, and then I turn these lights off, I make some tea. So having a routine really helps. And even though my sleep isn't always perfect, I do have this tracking ring, the Aura ring, which I want to do a review of in a video in the future, so keep an eye out for that. The Aura ring has helped me learn what things have kind of helped, what things I pretty much need to give up on trying to improve, because I think they're just my hormones and the way my body works. But some things have helped. Having the very specific routine, being really disciplined about going to sleep at a certain time. If I tend to be very time oriented, so I don't have to set an alarm, but at 8:45 every evening I get up from what I'm doing. I quit the movie. If I didn't time my movie right, I can finish it the next day. Be really disciplined about when you go to sleep and have a routine and follow all the suggestions to at least maximize your chances of getting good sleep. Another tip for getting good sleep that has helped me a lot was quitting alcohol. Alcohol severely disrupts your sleep. At first, it helps you fall asleep, but what happens is once your body is fighting it, and then when the alcohol wears down, your body's still up here going, ah! So I think we've all experienced drinking just an extra drink, maybe 1 or 2 more than we wanted to have, and you wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and your heart's going fast. And I did see that on my Aura ring when I first started wearing it, and I was still drinking alcohol. So quit the alcohol, or at most have 1 small drink with your dinner, and then that's all. And maybe just a couple times a week, or cut it back to a special event, or maybe when you go out to dinner. Here's my final boss tip, number 8. This is an excellent way to challenge your brain, and it has really stretched my skills, my patience, and my determination, and that is to start a YouTube channel. At our age, we have so much to share with the world. We have done so much. We've experienced so much. And it'd be great for you to get out there and share it with everyone. And learning how to do it, all of the skills that you have to gain to be able to make these videos is incredible. Not only talking on camera, that's my biggest difficulty. I get awkward, I forget my words, I just forget what to say. I've also had to learn how to use an editing program. I've had to learn how to think up great titles and thumbnail titles, thumbnail images. I've had to learn how to add B-roll and to shoot B-roll. There's all these things that you have to remember, how to write descriptions, how to write a script, what's going to be interesting to people, doing research, using the online program for designing graphics for the videos. So starting a YouTube channel, you will gain so much brain building. It is an incredible challenge, and I'd love to know if you're interested in doing it. If you are and you'd want more about my experiences and what's been difficult, what's been fun, just drop a comment in the comment section. See, I'm losing my words. Drop a note in the comments section, and I'll try to answer as well as I can, and I'd love to talk about that. There's all kinds of people out there our age now starting their YouTube channels. It's becoming more and more popular, so there's plenty of space on YouTube for all of us. Thanks so much for stopping by and listening to my rambling. If you'd like to watch my video about how creativity can boost your brain power and sharpen your mind as you grow older, check out this video here. And I appreciate you stopping by. You take care.